Eminence Front X5 and Larry Word here, getting ready to go on a hike, a 7-mile hike for... It's been a little while since I've done a hike video, so bear with me. At least I got my image stabilization working again. Shame on you, Filmic Pro. Stopped using Filmic Pro because their image stabilization is less than half of what it is with the standard camera app, so it's booted. Back to standard app. So here we go. We're going on a quick 7-mile hike. It's all flat, fairly easy from what we're told. I've never been on this hike, so let's go check it out. So this is the start of the trailhead, moving along. Beautiful day out. I would say, I don't know, 80, 85, just after 12 o'clock. We're about a half hour to 45 minutes late, but we don't think this is going to be a problem. We're on a slight timeline, not really. We're trying to make a little party tonight about 5 o'clock over at the hot spring in Tecopa. And we've been camping out at Tecopa a few days now. We got kicked out of the dry lake bed where I started my trip a year and a half ago. It was just way too windy. The winds were gusting up to 40 miles an hour, I would guess. And just a little too much with that dry lake bed and all the dust flying around. So we packed up and we moved up to Tecopa, which was, I think, a great idea. We met some more of our friends up there and had a great little party. The following day, we had a little explore, and today we're going on this great hike in Tecopa. So what we'll be doing is we'll be following the Amargosa River, or the TNT Railroad portion of the Amargosa River, up into Tecopa itself. So that's what we're doing right now. It's supposed to be a 7-mile, one way. And it's supposed to be beautiful, and it looks like it is. So the China Date Ranch was, well, it was a farm, and providing a lot of fresh food for the miners out here in this area. Heavy in mining. All the hills around here have been poked around and mined. Heavy mining area, this place. It's volcanic. A lot of hot springs around and whatnot. So, okay, so the trail that we're going to be taking, we're on it now, of course, but it splits off about, I don't know, about a mile out, and we start following the Amargosa River, which is directly in front of us here, that green area. That's the Amargosa River. It pops up above ground right around here as it makes a U-turn down the Amargosa Valley. It makes a U-turn and goes back up into Death Valley and ends up in Badwater Basin. That's the end of the Amargosa River. This was also part of the Spanish Trail. Oh, it's just, this valley just opens up. Look at this, people. Wow, this is just a quick little walk from the parking lot, not even 5 minutes, and you're into some absolutely stunning scenery. There's a old vehicle here, off to the side, to the right. Look how wide this valley is. Amazing. Oh, some more wreckage. Probably the same car. That looks like the top of it. Oh wow, look, that had a wooden frame. That's an older car. That's probably a 30s car right there, or earlier. There's a truck down there. That's some old truck right there. There's probably a lot of mining remains out here. Miner camp remains. Like this here. I mean, I'm going to go down here and show you. So whoever's car this was, they were probably either broke down or abandoned. But someone looks like they were living out of it for a period of time. I can definitely see how that can be done. Definitely. It's all busted apart now, but I'm thinking camp because all these cans. Looks like they even tried making a little oven or stove. So yeah, interesting. But these are indicators that you're onto something. In this case, not really. It's all in one spot. The car where I think they were probably sleeping out of, whatnot, as miners. Anyway, let's continue on. Wow, would you look at that canyon? Referring to this canyon right there. That's gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous out here. Hope you guys are enjoying this. There's all kinds of trails. You might be able to make it out. There's a trail along this hillside here. Looks like quite a few paths out there. I have seen people out there hiking around. I'm not quite sure we'll be doing that level of a hike. So that's where we're coming from. Looks we're heading off to this way. Stop off this plaque. There's a couple of my friends up in front of us. It's Sarah's sister and Gregor and Dave's way over there in the corner. Okay, so we're just a little ways down from all the garbage and truck remains, and you know the first encampment we ran into just after the trash heaps. We're coming up on remains of a building, some kind of mining building here. Let's go check it out. Did you look at that? That clanking noise is my key. Wooden floors.
Alright, well, according to this information sign, this old building was built in 1903. It was meant to be assay office. The miners.
It was a saloon. It was a saloon, it says.
What's this out here? This is classifying material. Or a bed. Probably a bed. Oh, here's another bed spring. Interesting. Wonder what this is all about. Let's go read the plaque. Plenty of wood. Looks like something else was out here. Probably a fence. Let's check it out. Rewards abound. Okay, we're about right there. And again, we're making our way all the way down and back up this way. Off to Slot Canyon. Beautiful hike so far, and we're about to head down to this little valley where the TNT Railroad is. You can see the raised ground down there. That's the old remains of the TNT Railroad. Let's go check it out.
Makes me feel like so unhealthy.
So Gregor and
Lazy bum.
Eliza's behind me. That's what you're hearing behind me. I'm pretty sure the mic's picking that up. I'll try and hike ahead a little bit. So we just came up off this little levee thing, and we're heading back up this direction. So we're gonna get over to the raised level of the TNT Railroad. I'm pretty excited about that. The TNT Railroad is it's a landmark around here for me, because the TNT Railroad starts in, I believe, down near Ludlow and comes all the way up through the Mojave Desert and up and over to towards Tonopah. And I had a frog in my throat there. At Death Valley Junction, where the Opera House is, you guys might have heard me mention the Rogers House. That's the first building I ever went into, and that was part of the Death Valley Junction Railroad, where the Death Valley Junction Railroad met up with this railroad to transfer ore and other materials over from one line to the other. So yeah, it's kind of special. The T&T Railroad was a lot larger in scale. The Death Valley Railroad came later and tied into it. And that was put in by the American Borax Company for the town of, which is now a town, of the Death Valley Junction. It was a company town, basically. The Opera House, I believe, was the civic center, I believe, of the community. They had a hospital in there, they had a morgue, they had a restaurant, a cafe at least, and yeah, it's pretty darn cool. So here we go. We're going to be walking up and onto the T&T Railroad remains. Check that out. It's totally cool. This is amazing. To be up here and see timbers or the ties, that's pretty darn cool. Most of this stuff's gone because what happened when they pulled the tracks up for the T&T Railroad, I'm not quite sure exactly where the material went, but, well, they reused the timbers at least for buildings and whatnot, or different structures within the area. But the metal, the rails themselves, yeah, that all went to, I believe, a different country, or it was redone. Oh, well, looky there. So there was a diversion here. It looks like they reinforced it with some concrete on one side to keep the erosion from going down, but that didn't quite happen. Mother Nature looks like it won. Okay, so Sarah's way down there, and we cannot cross to go into the slot canyon. Well, we can't see one at least. I think that this piece of wood was probably where Sarah is, and it was a semi-bridge to get across to go into this slot canyon.
And it'll lead us right into Tecopa.
You all right?
What is this? There's waterfalls everywhere.
Coming. Some people. The real one will have to come.
Okay, that was pretty amazing. I was not expecting that, but the waterfall is right in the middle of, well, nowhere. It's fairly loud, and the water has amazing flow. A couple of my friends took a dip, and I got my hair wet, so big thumbs up to this. You get a chance to come out here, just outside of the China Date Ranch, and I don't know, we're maybe 2 miles out on a very well-defined path, not hard to get to at all, but amazing, absolutely amazing. We've been looking for a place to take a dip for at least 2 days now out in one of these parks, and sure enough, here we are. Amazing, totally amazing. Let's press on. We got a place to be at 5 o'clock, and that's 2.5 hours out, and we got about 5 miles to walk, so it's doable, but there's a lot of interesting stuff out here that we weren't expecting, so we're slightly delayed for good reason. So let's press on. Yeah, that waterfall was amazing. I'll talk to you guys a little bit while I walk. There's a long little straightaway we're going around here. T&T Railroad. You know, I started my trip down in 20 miles above Baker, just by Highway 15. It was right next to the T&T Railroad, so it's nice to be on it, walking it, hiking it. We're definitely enjoying ourselves. Now, these hikes are usually kind of lonely for me. Not in a bad way. Lonely in the fact that, you know, I'm out here trying to be alone, and I got my friends with me today, and it's different. It's slower, but it's definitely a lot of fun to hear their point of views and what their likes and dislikes are on this trail. It's pretty interesting. Not a lot of dislikes, by the way. Everyone's kind of blown away, and I'm pretty impressed myself. I did not think Tecopa would be this pretty. Let me show you how tight this path is getting. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's really tightening up. Well, it's fun having you guys along on the trip, on the hike. Have someone to talk to. I have to separate myself from either people in front of me or behind me so that I can have some quiet time, I guess. The walkway turns right there. I've cut through this path. You just see what's down. It dead ends. And there goes a big old there he is. The horsefly is trying to land on me. I got to turn here and go up and into this railroad. So let's go do that. Stop monkeying around. Take you guys with me. See how I have to shuffle through this crap. Okay, so we got a little pinched off back there, and you heard my voice get a little worried because we were supposed to be in one spot at a certain time, and if we were to follow the perimeter of this whole valley, it goes in and out different ways, and we just got through doing one, and it took a lot longer than we expected. I would say it took 30-40 minutes longer than I thought we were going to need because of the cutting in and out. So it's a relief to be back in the T&T Railroad. But as you can see, our shadows are starting to get long. It's all right. I think I got a critter in my shoe. He will die in there because I'm not stopping. I'm pressing kind of hard right now. See, here's more of these bushes with these thorns. We're not fucking around, people. This hurts. It hurts bad. They're everywhere out here. All these big green bushes. That's that. And we just had to bushwhack through it. It takes time to get through that. We have about 4 miles to go. 3 to 4 miles is what we got, and it's 3 or 4 miles of this stuff. Not hard, it's just the obstacles. So we'll turn this back on in a second, folks. We're heading out through this small slat. Wow, can you imagine a locomotive going through here? Seriously, the noise it must make going through here. It looks like we're popping out to an oasis on the other side. Wonder why these are up. Wonder if it had anything to do with the railroad at the time. Who knows? I believe you're hearing Sarah behind me singing, if you can make that out. Sarah and her sister and Gregor are behind me. Dave's in front of me. I'm the middleman. Wow, look at these colors. Would you look at that? That's absolutely amazing. It looks like there's a waterfall here when it rains. Amazing. Okay, we're continuing on, but wow, not another one. This probably is a little more open since we're getting closer to the Tecopa side. Maybe people made it down this far to the halfway point from the Tecopa side. Okay, everyone, we're just arriving at the, just on the other side here is the, excuse me, Tecopa. That's where our destination is. Right here, those buildings are in the background. We've made it, and it took a little while to get here, but we made it, and I'm glad we did because I am thirsty. That's it for the trip. Hope you guys liked it. Long hike. Be prepared. Bring a lot of water, and you'll be fine. However, it is a hike, and it's breathtaking. If you get a chance to make it out here, do it. Do it, really. This is the most spectacular hike I've been on out here in Death Valley. I'll be out here many more times. Signing off. Eminence Front, X5 and Larry Ward.